allegedly, Atom Waffen division has come to an end. There's rumors that's not quite so. Perhaps James Mason has stepped down, or perhaps he's stepped down in an official sense, either to protect the group from prosecution for just being a member, or it's because he, this is sort of a subversive sort of thing where they're hiding their true role, or perhaps they're planning something big. But that would have officially happened on March 14th, 2020. Because they were going to set up as an organized crime or terrorist organization. They're going to do something to it. So to get ahead of that, James Mason was born July 25th, 1925. Now, the posters alone tell you that things went too far. Building the, from the ashes of, I'm not going to say it, the system. What do you expect other than violence to happen? And what do you expect when people talk about make it count? If you're going to do something, make it count. Just don't lose your life over, one person who's, turned their back on their country per se. But isn't it turning your back on your country to say that you want to be a Nazi? Because the Nazis weren't American. They weren't, German. There's a German branch. I understand working as a group, really. I also understand the army of one thing. I understand the power of symbolism, such as nuclear weapons, because certain systems and certain ideas and ways of life, perhaps you would want them demolished. But the problem per se isn't Jews as a whole. It's not even the non-immigrant, mostly white people that are called blacks that are the problem. There are certain problems amongst these groups. And as much as you can do good for your country first, let's do some good for the world. When it comes to Jews, let's be real about it. We're talking secular Jews that support Zionism. We're talking about things that Judaism is very much against, like the gambling and the usury, so the banking system and making money off interest and such. That is, that's sort of outside the scope of what good Jews are supporting. And so things started in 2015, perhaps earlier, who knows. There's some divisions that are influenced by the Order of Nine Angles, definitely in the British and German and even American. There are, that race traitor talk, and there's just a bunch of things that have just went way too far from the beginning. Now, I understand, there's some powerful symbolism and ancestry and religious symbolism that has been grafted. You have the flag, the clockwise laurel wreath, sort of the victory, sort of the prophetic sort of thing. They'd wash themselves in laurel, and that's why we get the laurel soaps. And the counterclockwise in the inner, so sort of active and invoking, passive, combined as one. Black, things have to change. Light shining forth, breaking through something new. And so there are some things like all problematic groups, that, you know, there are truths that they use to recruit people. And there's definitely problems with the left, even more so now. Part of the problem was part of the problem with the Atom Waffen was that people wanted to weaponize. They wanted to weaponize the whole COVID-19 thing, and that wasn't the right political move. Same thing with the whole nuclear weapons thing. That wasn't the right move either. Obviously, it's a hate organization. Perhaps you'd want to bring out the best in the people that you'd consider enemies. There's problems with government, even when you step outside the Jews and the progressive, anti-religious, anti-family people on the left. By progressive, I don't mean, they're socialist and they're against freedom, which, there are certain things in government per se you'd want to be freedom. James Mason himself was collecting welfare, so I don't think that there's population problems in terms of population being too big. Some of the nicknames of people, being online, you ended up with people just barely into puberty, probably hit puberty too young, chemicals and whatnot, that ended up members. The Atom Waffen stuff definitely could have idolized some forms of the hypocritical takes on Islam to promote more war efforts with less ethics. The Order 9 Angles angle, the culling, the darkness attaching to it. Although I don't think that was... But yeah, they wanted a whole new system. The American government and all. They wanted other Germany was, of course, a big, like a lot of neo-Nazis. If they could bring back Germany, even if they focused on America, that's honestly a goal that they have. There were people who obviously with violence, acquiring weapons even of mass destruction, not able to accomplish what some of them wanted to do in 2017. Others of them were caught with weapons. That famous marriage, Prince Harry or someone like that, yeah, they considered him a race traitor, so that was something very serious to them. But again, let's criticize more behavior, not race related. But if there's something unethical or something like that you have an issue with, something that puts your jeopardy, but yeah, I don't know what to say. I just thought I'd ramble on a little bit about this, and yeah, too far from the beginning. So beware of some truths that get twisted into something.